How many of you have enormous problems in life and you just can't decide what to do?
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Believe it or not, this is one all-time greatest moment in my life, and it happened in 2016. My story is that I was rock bottom, unhappy in my job, frustrated with living at home, barely earning enough to do anything that I truly wanted to do. I had a tough decision to make. Do I stay miserable, broke, and unhappy, or do I blow all my savings and move to what was in my mind the frozen tundra? See, my option was Canada to start a new, more prosperous and happy life, or stay in Jamaica where everything did irie, but yeah, my salary had me feeling really hopeless. So I called my shot, closed my eyes, and did what any desperate person would do. I made a plan to get the hell out of there. The plan seemed impossible at the time because I needed at least 30,000 Canadian dollars to pay Canada's ridiculous and hefty fee to re-educate myself in their country and, of course, have enough money to survive while going to school. Okay, so let's do the math. So in 2014, the exchange rate was 95.96. So let's see, 95.96 times the 30,000 Canadian dollars that I would need would be $2.87 million. Okay, that's almost $3 million. Coming up with that kind of money wasn't going to be easy for me. However, a series of decisions and God answering my prayers changed all of that. 2 years later, after finding a better paying job, saving all I could, and selling my old Honda Civic, hey Cindy, I had the funds. Canada, here I come. In January of 2016, I moved to Toronto with my then husband. Let's call him He Who Shall Not Be Named. And so for the first year and change, I did the school thing, then the internship thing, then a few kind of ridiculous and shitty jobs until in 2018 I landed what was in my mind my dream job. Now keep in mind, my dream at this point was only to land something that was full-time salaried with benefits, and that was in my field of study. Not the biggest goal, but for where I was at the time, it seemed monumental. The countdown was on for me to get my PR, and I was hurting from a failed relationship. I had gained so much weight, I looked like a stuffed turkey. I was stressed, worried, and unsure about my future in Canada because of complications with my PR application. Then something magical happened after I decided to go on vacation to give myself space to think and just be in a different environment. My mind became clear and I figured out everything that needed to happen next. I gained clarity on what I needed to do to receive my PR, which I did. And right after that, I filed for divorce. The second greatest moment in my life. At that time, I was sad from the breakup and feeling excited about my future at the same time. I'm not even sure if that's possible, but that's how it happened. Back to the stuffed turkey. I decided I needed to get my life together by joining a gym. I started working out and eating better, specifically cutting out ciabatta bread. I love that thing. After some trial and error and 6 months of consistency and hard work, I lost 15 pounds. After working on myself inside and out, I was in a much better place emotionally and spiritually, and I was feeling confident, so I figured, what's the harm in entering the dating scene? Of course, the least effective way to meet quality people are on dating apps, and I met so many duds, but it reinforced what I wanted in a man. I started praying for a boyfriend. Yes, I did. I'm not kidding. You know when Sierra said she prayed for a man like Russell? I took a page out of her book and I did the same thing. In came Curtis. Hey boo, hey. It was the first greatest summer. I really never thought that I'd be the person with the tiny mic doing this. What I want to do is I want to document my growth journey. See, I just shared with you a bunch of things that happened in my life, and I realized that there was a common thread to when great things happened is that I made decisions. I decided that I wanted to be, do, or have something. And then you may wonder, well, what's the big deal? I make decisions all the time. But I'm not talking about decisions such as, what do I have for dinner tonight? I'm talking about big life-changing decisions. How many of you have enormous problems in life and you just can't decide what to do? You can pretty much eliminate the conflict in your mind and the confusion in your life by becoming a better decision maker. Decision making is what brings order to your mind. And of course, the order is then reflected in your results. The decision to start a new eating plan or to actually follow it, the decision to follow the workout routine, the decision to follow the skincare regimen, the decision not to hit the snooze button in the morning, the decision whether or not to buy those shoes, go on that trip, go on that date, it all boils down to decisions. If you're indecisive, you'll not only never grow, but you'll miss out on a lot of opportunities in life. Think about what indecision has already cost you: the time, the experiences, the money, and also the stress. When we fail to develop our ability to make decisions, we're doomed, because indecision sets up the internal conflicts. It's those internal battles, and it leads to mental and emotional wars. In other words, it's just not good for your mental health. It's that feeling of ambivalence, that very heavy feeling that freezes us and it paralyzes us from moving forward in our lives. But let me tell you something. Decision makers aren't afraid to make mistakes. If and when they do make mistakes in their decisions, or they fail at something, they have the ability to shrug it off. They learn from the experience and they don't submit to the failure. It's just another lesson in life. Listen, I've made lots of mistakes in my life. Heck, I married a whole person that was not right for me. But I didn't allow that to get in the way of eventually being in a compatible and loving relationship. Today, I can't believe that this is my life. I finally understand that I'm the creator of my life because of the choices that I made along the way. You see, starting this YouTube channel was also a decision, and it wasn't an easy one. It came with a lot of self-talk, like, well, who wants to hear what I have to say? Or this will take a lot of time, it'll take a lot of effort. What's the point? I really don't want to be on camera for any reason. But it's also something that I was inspired to do. And something important that I've learned is to follow the feelings of inspiration, those gut feelings. So just like when I decided to move to Canada or work on my emotional, physical, and mental health, or not to be jaded by past relationships, I needed to get on a new plane of thinking that would get me to where I was inspired to be. So I literally just had to make the decision to be there. Now, deciding to move to a new country, someplace that I've never been before, with the money that I did not have, it required a definite decision that I was going to do it. It immediately started to attract things to me that I would never have gotten without first making that decision. I'm going to introduce you to a book, or perhaps reintroduce you, because maybe you know this book well. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And Hill argues that indecision and procrastination are like adjoined twins. So where you find one, you find the other. He argued that successful leaders are those who they make decisions quickly and they make them slowly. He also argued that self-control or self-discipline, or whatever you want to call it, is actually the greatest and the most difficult skill to master on the road to success. And I'm sure you're not going to argue with me that it's one of the most difficult things, but I can tell you why it's the greatest. It's the greatest thing, self-discipline or self-control, because it's foundational to our well-being. It's foundational to our self-talk and the things that we tell ourselves about ourselves and what we're capable of. It's foundational to our self-confidence, and our confidence leads to decisiveness. So I'm going to suggest something. I'm going to suggest that you read the chapter on decisions in this book. It's chapter 8, and I think it will help you develop your self-awareness of the things that trigger your emotional responses to things, and it will help you catch yourself when you're acting on impulse so you can delay that gratification for your longer term goals. And if you want to learn more about decision making, you want to be better at it, then please comment below so I can make more videos on this. I hope you feel like you've made a good decision watching this video all the way through. And I hope it's inspired you to take action on something that you've been procrastinating on. Until we see each other again, remember that there is greatness that exists within you. And if you have an idea, I want you to go for it. Decide today that you're going to go for it, because there's never any time better than the present. Oh, and hey, don't forget to like and share with someone that maybe is having a hard time making a decision on something. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload a new video. Bye for now.
Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.